Hey everyone, today I'll be going over this review here, just looking over these gray boots here, depending on where, sorry about that, my dog gets in the way. So these are going to be your snow boots, just basic snow boots here. I actually thought this review is actually going to be pretty appropriate since I'll be making a trip to a snowy area. So I actually had picked these up last year, and I had a chance to use them several times and have another chance to use them this time around as well too. So just to kind of start off, these boots, the brand is called, let me just grab that here, Western Chief right here. This is actually a pretty well-known brand if you're looking to get some actual real insulated snow boots. A lot of times with boots, especially if you're going in areas that have heavy snow, so if you're in places like East Coast United States or anywhere up in Canada, or basically anywhere outside of West Coast United States that's going to have an actual real snow, you're going to want some insulated boots. So a lot of times what's going to happen is going to be very basic for these boots, is that at the very bottom it's going to have a rubber lining, which is basically what you want, especially when you're going to be going in the snow. You don't want any kind of material that's going to be too soft, that's going to absorb the snow and keep you wet, right? So that's the basic idea. And also, one of the main things that you're going to want from insulated boots is that you want the sole to be relatively heavy. Reason being is because when you're going on the snow, and if it's relatively deep, you want to be able to get some sort of traction. So you want these to go in and to dig in. If they're heavy enough, you want them to dig in and to give you that traction that you need when walking around. As you can tell here, and what's going to happen obviously with all snow boots is that the wear and tear is not going to be very much, simply because it's not on actual asphalt or ground. A lot of times you can have the snow in between your foot and the ground. So you're not gonna get too much of a wear and tear on them. But main thing is, again, you want to get some boots. These specific ones, the Western Chief ones, these specifically have the rubber lining on the very top here, and it's also going to have a very, very thick bottom here. The top here, I'm not exactly sure what material this is, but it's not. So the top here is going to have this warm part here. It's going to have I'll show you guys how that works in a little bit. But this area here is not exactly rubber. It's some sort of, I guess, some sort of leather or something. Either way, you're still not gonna, when this is exposed to snow, you're not gonna have any issues with it going through and kind of making you wet. So this does separate here, and you're gonna have this interior here. This interior is gonna keep you really warm. It's not going to be too bad. It's not going to make you sweat. I'll tell you that right now, especially from having used it several times. But it is going to keep you nice and warm. Another thing to notice is that a lot of times for these boots, especially when you're getting winter boots, you're going to want some boots that come up above your ankles, so that way you can kind of tuck in your, or at least what I specifically do, I tuck in my pants. And that's how I pretty much kind of keep them from getting wet. Because a lot of times, depending on what type of pants you want, I personally don't use these for things like snowboarding. If you do want to use these for any sort of winter sports, it reminds me, you're probably going to want something that's a little lighter, because these are heavier. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to impact your performance. So with that said, if you do want to get, obviously if you want to wear these on a regular basis and in the snow area, and it's not going to be somewhere where it has snow, I personally would recommend just getting something that's going to be above your ankles, so you could tuck whatever pants you have in here and it'll just go right in. I personally don't like to have the pants over, simply because if the snow gets in between, it can actually start to push in here, and I don't want to have any of those issues. But other than that, if you just look at it, even the laces and everything else is pretty much basic. If you look around here, the laces are going to come to the very top. And one thing that I did notice about these is that these laces are pretty long. So even if you do make like a knot, what I do actually a lot of times is, maybe I should put this down and I should show you. So I would actually just kind of bring it around a lot of times and then just tie it in the front, because I don't like to have laces kind of just on the ground. A lot of times if this gets wet, you start to step on it, you're going to start to have issues, and that's usually not a good idea. So the little straps for the laces are going to have this metal portion here, which is going to be nice and strong. It's very basic, kind of at the end of the day, it's pretty rudimentary. but it's not going to come apart or have any of those issues. with this here. So once again, these are the winter boots by and they come in men's and women's sizes as well too. You always want to obviously make sure that you get a size that's proper for you. A lot of times you might have to actually size down just a little bit because you want these to be on you relatively tight, obviously, you know, without any discomfort, but you still want these things to be on you relatively tight. So again, for you guys kind of just doing some basic walking around in the snow in those areas of the world, of the country, wherever that has snow, check these out. These are the Western Chief boots. All right, hope you guys enjoyed.